Okay. What we're going to do is just cover the basic setup and initial networking of the Exxon 5000 set as it stands. Basically the idea is if you have a lot of these units in the field, you can join them together and make specific work groups so that only certain units will only talk to other units without having to spread the signal throughout the work site. Due to the range they have, it can be advantageous to, if you've got a lot of them on site, to have them all working specifically together without running the risk of alerting other work groups somewhere else in the plant. So we've got instructions for use here which cover all the setups we're going to cover. Basically we're just going to cover switching them on, pairing them up into a network, doing a test, how the menus are built and structured, testing them, breaking that network and then switching them back off again. So it should be pretty straightforward. If we have any issues during this training session, you'll be exiting out through that door there and then straight out to the roller door to the muster point in front of the yard. So basically, so that's it. So we've got two units here. We've got a master and a slave. When you set this up, there will always be, regardless of how many units, there will always be one that's a primary master, which is, this one has been designated a master for ease of use. And then every one after it is the slave. So when we set up the network, you pick one to be the master, and that's the one that can control everything. You can add units, subtract units, things like that. So to switch the units on, it's pretty straightforward. You've got your device in the front here, you press and hold the OK button for 3 seconds, and the unit will fire up. So the unit will fire up, start its normal startup procedure. When the unit boots up, you'll see on the screen it will display its alarm levels, alarm settings, days to calibration, things like that, which is pretty standard. Now these units will automatically pair and talk to any, communicate with any other one within its range, which is why we're going to set them up into individual groups. On the top of each unit you'll see 2 indicator lights. Top one meaning battery, second one is a communication status, just to say the radio signal, the radio transmitter is working.
The battery is the battery of the unit.
Battery of the unit itself, not the detector. The unit powers the detector, so as long as this is charged and that light is green, you're all good to rock and roll. So once both units are fired up, we're just going to run through the menu keys. So to get to the menu, you press the plus key on the unit and it takes you into the menu screen. Now here you've got 6 boxes depending on what you want to do. Top one is local, that's just your local measurement, that's the normal detection screen we were at before. Network is if you have multiple units in sequence, you can actually check the status of each unit from the master. Config is if you need to open and close pairing states, which we're going to cover in a second. Test is how you test if they're all connected together properly. Quick menu is the detector's main quick menu where you do your fresh air counts and your TWA. And Modbus is used for if you're using a switch on switch off box. So a drop down gate, comp isolator, things like that. We're not going to really stress too much about that, that's a whole nother course. So once the units are switched on, it's pretty straightforward. You pick the unit to be the master, which will be this one. And there are 2 ways you can pair them up. You can either go straight into network, straight into config, or you can press the link key at the front. Easiest way, so you just press the link key. You press that, and what it will automatically do is it will set up a network. So you basically, that one acts as the master, and then you go to everyone you want to be paired with and press the OK key. A plus will turn to a tick. It will be given a designation of the number 1, 2, 3, 4, yada yada yada, with your master designated as unit 0. Now you'll notice after we've done that, a third light has come on. On the master, the light will be red and green. On every slave unit, that will be green, just green all by itself. So that's how you can tell which one's the master, which one's the slave at a glance. There's only ever one master per group. Doesn't matter if there's 100 detectors. Can't make multiple masters. There is only one. Makes life easier for you. Best place to do is to put once you've paired them up, press OK on both. So that bit. And that will acknowledge, once you've pressed OK on all of them, you press OK on the master again, that will close the loop. And then press OK, take it back to local. So now these 2 are paired. As you can see, red and green for master, green for slave. These 2 units will only talk to each other now. Doesn't matter if there's 50 or 60 other units in range, they will only communicate with each other. So to check the communication, you go back into your menu screen and you can go down to the test box. If you hit the test, what it'll do is it'll cause every unit in that network to alarm. They'll go off 3 times. So those units have been configured and they are paired. If you happen to find a unit all by itself that is paired with something and you're not sure which one it is, you can run a test from it, from any unit you want, and it will alarm.
Can I run a test from that unit?
You can.
And it'll, yeah?
And then, yep, so you can go down to that. So if you happen to find one of these laying all by itself out in the field somewhere, and you don't know what work group it belongs to, you can run a test and essentially just follow your ears. So that's that. Now to break the link, it's pretty simple. You go back to your master again, you go down to config. Now in your master menu for your config, you'll be given a couple of options. You've got the Zs, which means you can put the whole system to sleep. So if you go in smoko, you can switch the system off without actually physically turning it off. We'll just put it into sleep mode for 60 minutes. Plus key is also like another test. If you hit the plus the tick, it will show up on every screen which one's in network. Okay. So it's sort of like a silent test. Plus is if you wish to add units to the group. Subtract is obviously if you wish to take units out. So if you take 10, you find you need 2 more, you can add them in without having to reset up the entire network again. Subtract is if you take 10, you feel you only need 8 and they need 2 somewhere else, you can break them off and take them away. And at the very bottom is the break key. Now by hitting that, you sever the link between every unit in the network.
Okay, you want to do that?
Yep, so you go press down to that. So you hit that and what you'll see is a little symbol will come up on every screen asking you to break it.
So we go, yes.
Press OK. Press OK. Cool. Now you'll notice on the bottom both the lights are switched off, so they are no longer networked. And that's it. To get back to your main menu, you press the OK key to take you back and back to local measurement. Now all the while you're doing this, the units will still detect and still alarm if they encounter any gas, even if you're in the menus. So if you accidentally walk away and the menu screen's still up, it will stay there for 2 minutes and then it'll revert back to normal screen.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, and then to switch the unit off, it's pretty simple. You push the 2 buttons at the front for 3 seconds, and the units will switch off. Now, what I'd like you to do is switch both units on, set a network up, test that network, then break the link, switch units off.
I'll do that.
As you can see, both units are going through their normal startup. You can skip this step by pressing the OK key on the unit too. It'll take you straight into the menu. Okay.
Can I just press the blue button?
Yep.
Do that?
No.
Oh.
So you press the blue button, and then you have to press the OK button on every unit you wish to add to the loop. So that's yes, tick. And then once you've finished adding units, you go back to your original and you press the OK again. And you'll see a tick.
Green light. Green light. So it's
Okay.
dead.
Yep.
Back to measuring. Blank screen. Then we go to break the link. It's the blue one.
Do a test for us first.
Okay.
So both units are communicating. If we had a third that wasn't in the link, only these 2 would still go off.
Okay.
And now break that link for me.
Config. slave first.
Yep.
Measuring.
Yep.
Right, red and green light's gone out for the link. The green
Correct.
light's gone out for that link.
So that network has been severed.
And the individual units now.
Correct.
So now we're just shutting down.
Correct. No, there we go. Okay, yourself in the menu, so take yourself back up to local. So. The only downside is the time between when you push the button and when the menu arrows move.
Yeah.
It's you can sometimes get ahead of yourself by accident.
Yeah.
Done. That's all you gotta do. Easy as that.
No.
Any questions?
No.
No, they're
It's
pretty-
interesting when you go to Lincoln, go to the slaves before you do the master.
Well, the
You accept
idea
the
is,
link.
well, you essentially, the way to remember is you open the door, and then you've got as much time as you need to bring everything in, and then you have to go back and shut the door behind you.
Okay. That's the door.
That's the door. So you open the link, because you may be linking 60 units together. So it will stay open until you physically go back and press OK, because it could take you 5 or 10 minutes to walk around to all of them and press OK, and you don't want it shutting before you get halfway around the circle.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll open up, you go, you pick all the units you want, press OK, do a test, pick them up and off you trundle.
Very
As easy as
good.
that.
Alright.
Fantastic.